G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder. Patch 1.91 is here, and whilst it hasn't fixed every little problem in the game, it has certainly addressed one little thing, and that is the MiG-19. Yes, that's right, we're not even having a look at one of the new vehicles. I'm currently sitting, looking at my phone, waiting for that email to tell me that I've gotten the stuff added to my account, and I will get my videos out on these things as soon as possible. The things I'm looking at are the Phantom, the MiG-21, the J-72, and the Swift as the main things, and maybe, just maybe, I'll see if I can get some helicopter gameplay from the G-Links or something like that in as well. But the MiG-19 today has been absolutely buffed out the arse, and it is glorious. I love it. I absolutely love it. It just feels like it feels so good now. It just accelerates so much better. It feels a lot better overall. And I have no idea exactly what it is that is... Well, I know exactly what has changed. They changed some characteristics of the engines, and they changed some characteristics, some coefficients of the wings. So I can't quite figure out exactly how that affects the plane, but it just feels better. I do apologize for the frame skips and the low FPS in some points, but this is one thing that's happened throughout the patch. But you can see from the MiG-19 here, just on the ground, I am accelerating blisteringly fast. I can almost catch up to the F-100, and the F-100s now have to play it pretty safe. I think it is balanced now. The F-100 is now very 9.7 worthy, and the MiG-19 PT is very 10.0 worthy. I find it very well balanced now. The MiG-19 is just fantastic. You can see I've got a vapor cloud already, and whilst it is a pain in the fucking ass and I want it to be removed, or at least lessened so that it's only over the wing surfaces and over the tail surfaces, just so that it doesn't blind me from shooting, which is one of the things that you'll see in this video, the MiG-19 right now feels so damn good that it is able to actually properly compete with the Phantoms. And like everyone said, the Phantom was going to be the best. I called bullshit. And I was 100% right, because the dev server did not have a complete flight model for the Phantom. You could see it. You could tell by the way that it was. You had prop modifications. It had engine injection, for Christ's sake. You can't tell me that that's a finished flight model. And here we go, with the MiG-19 bursting up behind the F-100s and the couple of F-4Cs. Do you remember these are F-4Cs, which are the early F-4 Phantoms, and not the F-4Hs, which is the definitive version of the Phantom. But you can see I've got myself into a really good position. I've managed to get myself behind the enemy team, and I still have plenty of energy left. The Phantoms have been climbing like props, and as a result, I managed to blast one out of existence. I go for a quick head-on with another and don't trade any shots, but that's okay because I have plenty of energy left. I put myself into a vertical and go over because I can see no one is going up for me, and then I see one particular F-100 heading towards me, so I put it into a slight dive, and then I start turning. I'm turning so that the F-100 will bleed all of its energy, and I can do this now with a lot better proficiency. I have a lot more of a chance to actually, win in a turn fight or an energy-based fight, which is very characteristic of MiGs. The Phantom, at the moment, there are about 2 or 3 Phantoms on the enemy team, and none of them have really shown up in my fights just yet, and you won't really see a whole lot, but it is actually very doable. The Phantom is a lot faster, but the MiG-19 can very easily catch you out of a fight. So, kind of like the old MiG-19 versus MiG-15 BIS, MiG-17, F2, F-100 sort of meta, it works. It works fairly well. Maybe, just maybe, the F4 could get AIM-9Es, and I haven't tried the MiG yet. I haven't really tried the Phantom in battle yet, but it doesn't really look that promising. Like I said, I told you so. I told you so. But regardless, we're in the MiG-19 and we're absolutely clubbing the living shit out of the Americans, and it feels so good. You can see there's a Phantom. I go for a quick head-on, and I get a beautiful head-on kill. There's a Phantom. He's a Phantom. But that F-100 is not a Phantom because he's in plain sight. at very low speed. That F100 there ahead of me, he's pretty much losing his energy. The F4C behind me is looking to maybe pitch up, but at this point, we've managed to swarm them and lose their numbers or dry up their numbers enough so that they really, really can't start to, benefit from one-on-one dogfights. They're going to have to take them in 2v2s or 3v3s or multiple engagements like that. You can see I've still got both my AAMs and I won't really get any kills with them, but the air-to-air missiles are really, really good for, you guessed it, making people bleed energy. And the MiG-19 is an energy bleeder. It retains the energy so well, and I think this will go really well in hand with the MiG-21. Well, because whilst the MiG-21 isn't exactly fast, it does bleed a lot of speed. So I guess the MiG-21 will be for those one-on-ones, and the MiG-19 will be for those multiple engagements, whereas it'll probably be on the other side for the other two, or somewhere in between, where the MiG-19 and the MiG-21 will have all of the extremes, and the F-100 and the F-4 will sort of have the middle ground. I kind of like this, but we'll see how it pans out in the next few days. The MiG-19 is looking really, really good. You can see this F-4, whilst he's fast and he's coming in close, he isn't able to get a shot because he is starting to compress. And I can just sort of waltz around. I can roughly keep my energy. I've got him on track with the missile. I'm not firing it because I know I won't get it. But you can see there's heaps of stuff coming out of everywhere. And I'm just able to deal with it. It feels so good. And now we have a huge numbers advantage on the enemy. And honestly, there's not a whole lot these guys can do. Sure, they can run, but their numbers are now too low and they've practically lost the battle because they haven't managed to get the kills early on, and we have instead. I fire a missile there, but not really a strong lock at all. What I should have done is I should have waited till this point here, where instead of wasting a bit of ammunition, I should have really done some missile work. The idea behind the missiles is you use them for your high-speed fights, and the guns you use for subsonic fights, because, let's face it, it is really difficult to lead when someone is going 13 to 1400 kilometers per hour. Even at 1050 or 1100, it is extremely difficult. These planes lock up, they move extremely viciously, and the servers aren't really friendly at this point. They're starting to, they feel really weird. I'm teleporting and I'm getting stutters. Hopefully it'll calm down in the next few days because it's really, really frustrating. That and the frame skips is that's also extremely annoying. But the beauty of this dogfight here that we have with the F-100, the MiG-21, the MiG-19, and the F-4 Phantom is that you have a good dynamic. The F-100 is the support plane, the MiG-19 is the dogfighter, the MiG-21 is the support plane for that, or the 1v1 perhaps. It works in a really strange dynamic. The Americans have all the endurance, but the MiGs have all of the power. They have, the energy retention, they have the AOA. It'll be interesting to see how it pans out, because if you have impatient MiG pilots, you'll probably get a situation where most of the players will end up either wasting all of their ammunition and, getting out-endured, when that is the time that the F-100s and the F-4s will strike. So I guess it really depends, because I have had matches go both ways. For now, I think the MiG-19 and even the MiG-21 are probably in a fantastic spot. I don't know about the 21 and the J7, but I'm really, really hyped for this patch because of this. I knew the MiG-21 was going to be good. I knew it was going to be challenging, but I knew it was going to be good. And lo and behold, I am proven correct once again. I'm not going to say I told you so anymore. But for now, I really am excited, truly excited for this patch, because we're going to have a good time. Us MiG fanboys, we've got it good, but I think the F4 can, in some situations, one-up. So you've got to be careful. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching. Take care. And I'll catch you next time. Hopefully, for some MiG-21 action.